So I begin with thanks, but also have to be honest and upfront with everyone. COVID has really tested us, like everyone, over the past 2 years. We've had many challenges, times of uncertainty. We've had the church closed, we've had reduced numbers, we've had protocols in place. We've had no collections essentially for 2 years. Vastly reduced attendance rates at masses. Many people, even still, don't feel comfortable, don't feel ready, perhaps have even become used to not having Sunday Mass. COVID added also to the costs. Some of the symbols you can see behind me there. Buying gel every week, buying boxes of masks. All of these, they're small costs, although at $50, $60, $70 a week they mount up. But I think what's really happened mostly to us is reduced attendances, and that has substantially also reduced our income. I hope the figures are clearer for you. You can see in 2019 that we essentially were close to our own budget. Small overrun, but we can manage that. I've left out 2020 because it distorts the picture. 2020, the Federal Government of Australia paid JobKeeper to every charity, every organisation, every business, and including the Catholic Church, so that we could maintain our staff, pay our wages. So they paid around $70,000 to help the parish. At the same time, the Archbishop reduced every cost to the parish, didn't ask for any contributions whatsoever. So there, perhaps $20,000 or $50,000 was saved. So that year is quite distorted. But you can see that last year, even though we reduced our expenditure about $33,000 as best we can, you can see that our income fell by nearly $70,000. And that results, the red line being our expenditures and the black line being our income. That results at the end of last year at nearly $40,000 deficit to the parish, and projected, because we haven't finished the year yet, but you can see that that gap is getting wider and wider. We can cover last year's debt and indeed this year's debt by withdrawing most of our savings as a parish. So there's no crisis at this minute, but we can't sustain that into the future. We won't have that money to pay next year. By the end of 2023, if we can't correct that graph, I don't have an answer for that yet. I can say to you in honesty, though, it's unsustainable if unaddressed. So today, on behalf of all the parish, I'm just making a simple appeal to you. I'll preface this with the view of all of us, the Pastoral Council, everyone, that we would not and do not wish anyone to place unnecessary burden on their own family. We understand budget pressure on everyone in Australia today, every organisation, every business, every household. So please, this is not addressed to you in a way that would be something impossible for you. It is addressed, however, if it is possible, if you need a guide, if people could think about, could I give 1 cup of coffee a week extra to the parish? I don't want 100 cups of coffee. But if you could see your way clear to increasing contributions by about that volume, we'll go some way towards reducing that margin between income and expenditure. Now, I know I'm appealing to the people who are already on side and already generous, but the reality is that if you are a regular giving in a regular manner, could you consider then an increase to that amount, if that's possible for you? If you attend St. Paul's or St. Rachel's churches for your masses, would you consider making a commitment to the parish, becoming a regular donor? If you're a wage earner, could you consider becoming a donor as well to the parish? You're helping each other and you're helping every person in church today and all those who can't come here. And if you're following us online regularly or temporarily unable to attend Mass, could you continue to support the parish with a donation? There's lots of ways we can contribute. There's the planned giving program, which is traditionally the envelopes. There's the collections. There's tap and go. And it's possible through the parish office to make arrangements for direct debit. Something would come out regularly from your income, your wages, or your bank account without anything needing to be done. If we just stay with the coffee image for a moment, if we all contribute, if we all did something, a small thing, it would make a big difference. I'm not asking people to make unnecessary sacrifices, but if it's possible, as I say, we have to work to bridge that gap. We can do our best to reduce expenditure, but we also have to increase our income. We want to live our vision, and we want to be an inclusive Catholic community. We want to connect people to God and to each other. Just as Jesus said, love God, love your neighbour. That's at the heart of our parish. We want to live that vision in our mission. Be faithful to the gospel. Be true to our tradition. Take the best you can from our inspiration as Passionists. We want to become a welcoming, diverse community with a good focus on inclusion and equality. And we want to bring people to God and God to people through our sacraments and our liturgies, so that we can have an outward-looking view. We can be stewards of God's creation. We can commit ourselves to social justice. We can provide spiritual nourishment. We can be hospitable to others. All these hopes and desires are wonderful and real, but they need presence, and they need generosity, and they need our work, but also they have to be underpinned by finances as well. Some of our future goals: we want to build up a faith formation, adult education program in the parish. We want to, in the midst of all this COVID, to try to work our best to rebuild a sense of community and belonging. I understand people are still hesitant and a lot of people still not returning, but we want to begin that process of trying to reach out. We want to continue our social, environmental outreach, and all of that will depend on generosity from everyone. So thank you for listening, and it's not easy to speak about it. I'd rather talk about the gospel. I'm sure Father Tony would. But I feel, unless I share this with you now, I'm not being fair to you, because I don't want it to just come as a terrible surprise next year. And so let's do our best to see what we can do. Thank you.